My name is Acuzar. The name of our foundation is Bellas Artes Projects. The foundation was founded in 2013 in Bagac, Bataan. And the name of Bellas Artes comes from the first art school of the Philippines, Escuela de Bellas Artes, which is now in our property, Las Casas, Filipinas, de Acuzar. So the inspiration came from the Escuela de Bellas Artes, which is relocated now in Bagac, Bataan from Quiapo, Manila. This was the first art school of the Philippines where a lot of our most celebrated historical masters studied and ran workshops with the owner of the house, Rafael Enriquez. They were considered to be the illustrious men of the Philippine Spanish Revolution, and it was inspiring for us to be able to revive this house and bring it back to how it was before, a space for art and ideas. So this is why we're running this workshop here in Quiapo at MLQU. This is a very important site in which the former Escuela de Bellas Artes used to be as well. In the spirit of how Bellas Artes was back in the late 19th century, we're bringing back workshops into Quiapo together with our resident artist, Pawel Althamer, young students, artist students, celebrated artists from the local contemporary scene like Agnes Arellano and Billy Bonnevie. Through this workshop, through this project, we're able to revive the spirit of Bellas Artes back to Quiapo, and to engage the local community with art. Quiapo is very important to me because my father grew up here pretty much. He studied here at MLQU. He went to eat at the restaurant where Bellas Artes used to be. It was a restaurant called Bulaklak. And ever since we were little, my father and my mother have been exposing us to the streets of Quiapo through the procession especially. My father has been a devotee of the Nazareno since he was 18 years old, since he was studying in MLQU. My grandfather as well, on my mother's side, has been a devotee since he was very young. It's a long-standing tradition in our family to be devotees of the Nazareno. The story has it that it was the Spanish galleon that burnt, and therefore the Black Nazarene survived this awful fire and has been deemed miraculous. The fire also changed its color, and now it's very black. It's a very black type of wood. This is very important for Filipinos, especially because when it arrived here, it was considered to be incredibly miraculous, was easily relatable to a majority of the Filipinos, the native Filipinos.
Hi, I'm Diana Campbell-Betancourt. I am the Artistic Director of Bellas Artes Projects, and I'm thrilled that our first artist in residence under my directorship is Pawel Althamer, who's a fantastic artist from Poland. Pawel and I have worked together in Bangladesh before, and when I first visited the Philippines with Jam on a site visit, she brought me to Quiapo, and I was immediately taken with the incredible plurality of this neighborhood. There are mosques next to churches, there's a Chinese temple nearby. It's a place where many cultures come together. And when Jam told me about the procession of the Black Nazarene, I immediately thought of Pawel because of his engagement with large groups of people. So Pawel is someone who building communities is part of his sculpting practice. He loves to sculpt opportunities where people can come together and play and work collaboratively. He works with a group of people with multiple sclerosis and does workshops with them to make collaborative sculptures. Next month we're doing a project with the Drug Rehabilitation Center in Bangladesh. And when I heard about all the variety of people who come together hoping for a miracle following the procession, I immediately thought of Pawel, and I wrote him an email telling him about the procession. And he wrote back saying, "What a great idea to follow Jesus. I am coming." Upon closer inquiry, Poland and the Philippines share a lot in common. For example, The Philippines has a Black Nazarene, Poland has a Black Madonna, who is also considered one of the saviors of their country. And there are a large number of pilgrims who travel to see the Black Madonna every year. Interestingly enough, there's a copy of the Black Madonna here in the Philippines. So we're very excited to be here in Quiapo during the Black Nazarene Procession to be casting different characters from the neighborhood, which will then come back with us to Bellas Artes in Bataan, where we'll work with the local craftsmen there to create a collaborative and immersive sculpture that will be an exhibition at the Bellas Artes Outpost in Manila in March. I also have an interesting history with processions. My mother is from an island that's 3 hours from here called Guam, and we have a procession there of Santa Maria Camalan, so basically the Mary of the Crabs. And the Nazarene and Mary of the Crabs have something very similar, which is that they are both have roots both in the Philippines and Mexico. And through the program, we're very interested in looking at these other routes of history. With my hat running a foundation in Bangladesh, we look at South Asia. There's a lot happening here with Southeast Asia. South Asia and Southeast Asia don't talk to each other, and they barely talk to Latin America. So we're hoping through this program that we can try to look at these shared histories and try to make connections that might be a leap for people. And we really think that by getting outside of our Facebook, outside of our mobile phones, and going out to talking to people in our neighborhood, that's really key to driving positive social change. And like the Nazareno, we're all hoping for a miracle, and we hope that art can, play a small role in that.
My name is Pawel Althamer, but sometimes I call myself alien. And I'm here to join you, friends, because I love to follow Jesus, like you. And I love to follow myself, and that's happened today, that my path and the Jesus path and many other paths, they are really connected. We are like in a highway today. And I like to work on a highway, actually, sometimes. I think it's a very beautiful combination to compare it to the study of a sculptor. When you are dancing around the model, if you want to get the knowledge who it is or how to make a beautiful sculpture, you should find the different points of view. And finally, looking for the model, you're finding someone who is watching the model. Then you are focused on the observer, and you discover the observer, and that's the point to travel. I'm really rich of a new experience because I was educated about the white one. And now I'm completed, much more than before. I feel I'm slowly, like step by step, I'm growing to be an adult. I think Almeg is like a step between several impressions coming to see my older friends, sculptors. They use the face as an inspiration. And I think like the face got a kind of basic message. The mimic and the expression of the face is something which was the basic element to start to express it using art, let's say. I think before we made any mask, we started to use the face as a system of communication, a basic communication. If you smile or if you sad, and I think it's still working. You can read the faces. It's like a basic communication language for humans, and not lonely. And the Almeg was a moment when I was working in a factory of my father, and I'm decided I'm in the center of the universe, and I want to tell to the universe I'm here. And I'm surrounded by several beings. They makes me inside of them. They makes the constellation. And I decided to create the constellation using tradition of the sculpture, figurative sculpture. And I asked the people working in a factory of my father, I asked my father, my brother, and other guys to give me their faces. I cast them like a tradition of the death mask. I cast the faces, and I create the sculptures, figures from them, and I constellate kind of group. And the message was kind of simple, like united constellation, like united people. Sometimes the people are working together, sometimes they're doing projects, dancing, I think, taking part in the processions. But the message was like a little bit continuation of my childhood. If you constellate the figures, if you're playing dolls, you feel like someone who is changing the world. And that was the kind of positive message coming from this solution. To remember, we cast already with several friends, more than 300 faces already. And this experience here was still unique because I think we create the amazing team of young artists. They actually did the project. They did the performance. Together with all people, they participate in a procession. It was from one side kind of support of our group, and same time it was like kind of public monument just to perform. You are important for us. We want to get the memory we are here. And maybe we want to create together a message. I will be a part of that. We are united. We have a common identity. And it doesn't matter if you are Polish or you are from Philippines. We want to work together. It brings energy to the people. And this exchange is really a peaceful one.